Hey guys, right, so I just want to start this video by saying a massive thank you for basically for helping me get to 10,000 subscribers. I never thought this day was going to come, and it's here, and I'm like, wow, I can't believe I've reached this many people that have subscribed to my channel. So I just want to say a massive thank you. Honestly, like, you know, you guys comment on my videos and I do try and make an effort to read the comments and respond back to them. Sometimes there'll be comments that get lost in older videos, and I might not get around to actually replying to them, but I do honestly try and go through every single one of them and read them. So I just wanted to say a massive thank you for that, because yeah, it's great. So yeah, I was thinking to myself, what am I going to do in this video? What am I going to... Because I wanted to make a video for when I reached 10,000, because I knew I was so close, but I was like, what am I going to do? So what I'm going to do is something that you guys have been asking in the comments for a while. You've been asking me about my setup, you've been asking me about like how long have I been playing, how do I play, things like that. So this video here is going to be a little bit of a sort of hangout video, and it's also going to be like behind the scenes. I'm not going to pretend to be somebody that I'm not, because I could stand here and pretend to be like, oh, this, I'm like a pro guitarist he knows all the theory and he knows everything. But honestly, like, my theory, I think I've mentioned this in some of the comments, my theory is shocking. Honestly, like, I've jammed with people before. I actually jammed with a guy called Max here in Aberdeen, and you know, his theory is amazing and he's such a great player, but you know, so he's a good player, but compared to myself, when I noticed sometimes when we go for like jam sessions in the studio, so there'll be like songs in a certain key, and so, you know, it's basic things that people should know. You know, you pick up a key, you say the key, and then you play in the key. The way my mind works is I hear the music and I play with regards to the music, okay? So it's just the way I've always played. It just comes easily for me. It comes easier to me using my ear to play than studying what key things are in and looking into the musical theory behind it. And that's quite a basic thing, but that's the level we're at here with me. I'm all about the music and the sound. I'm not saying people that know theory aren't, but I'm saying that in terms of me, there's kind of less of the theory. But yeah, I mean, the way I've always played guitar is I've always kind of, growing up, I think I started playing about 10 years ago or something, just over 10 years ago. It was actually my dad that got me into playing guitar, because he was a massive fan, he still is actually, of Thin Lizzy, Gary Moore. It was actually Gary Moore, he was the guy that got me playing guitar. Seeing him playing and shredding those blues, oh my god. Yeah, such a player. So I think listening to Gary Moore, he used to play a lot of bluesy licks, and he used to just rip into the guitar, and it was just, I mean, if you get the chance, honestly, go and check him out. Check out his live performances. There's one in Stockholm he did, which was incredible. That's my personal favourite anyway. But yeah, he's good. So check out Gary Moore. You've probably already heard of him anyway. He's quite a big guy, quite famous when he was alive. But yeah, anyway, so what I'm going to do is I'm just going to show you my setup, what's behind me, okay? So here's the thing about me, is I keep things very basic, and I always have, right? I've never really seen the need to go out and spend, like, I know there's YouTubers out there that spend hundreds of pounds and hundreds on all these equipment and expensive gear and stuff, and at the end of the day, like, my guitars mean so much to me, and they were expensive, but, like, as long as everything sounds good, and I can work with what I've got. But let me just show you here. I'm just going to flip around the screen here, and it's actually on a tripod, so I'm going to unscrew the tripod. Now, see, I could edit this out, but I'm not going to. I'm just going to keep it all as one. Just want to keep it, I want to keep this video as genuine as I can, okay? I don't want to have it like, right, let me try and focus the camera here. I want to just give you a real, like a raw version of me. So let's have a look. So let's, if this camera would like to focus, let's have a look at what we've got here. So this is what I used to record. My camera's not focusing. Okay, here we go. So this is my MacBook Air. Honestly, I've had this thing since I was a student. It's about 10 years old. I think I got it in 2010, and it's still going, well, I say going strong. I only use it for my YouTube videos now, but it still functions, you know, it's still there. But look at what we've got here, guys. I've literally got 2 stools. I've got a MacBook Air, and that's plugged in via USB to my Yamaha THR10. Okay, and this is really all I use to record. This is it. This is my setup. I don't have all this fancy equipment, and you know, they see other YouTubers out there, they've got all this gear, and that works for them. But for me, I just keep things simple, guys. Okay, so let's take a closer look at the Yamaha gear. So this is just my capo and stuff I've got lying here. So if my camera focuses, I'll show you the. It's not going to focus, is it? Are you going to focus? Okay, that's slightly better. So really the 2 settings on here that I go by are the modern and the Brit High. They're the 2 there. So on the last video, for example, the FM84 one, it was the Brit High, and that's kind of more of a muffled sound. But when I'm using that, I usually try and set one of the pickups to a more muffled sound. Whereas when I use the modern, that's for the majority of the videos. And I usually try and have quite a high gain as well. Well, usually about after 12 o'clock, between 12 and 6. The thing about this, guys, is you have to juggle it, right? I can't tell you exactly, oh, set this to this, set this to this, set this to this, because really, a lot of the way I do things, every video is different, and I do play about with it sometimes and adjust it. But generally speaking, gain is always past 12, master is about here, bass, yeah, a little bit, about 12 o'clock if not, the mids, yeah, just after 12, treble, maybe a touch more, but 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock. Now, for this synthwave guitar sound, I usually try and add a chorus. Sometimes I do that via here, because this thing has chorus, flanger, phaser and tremolo. I never actually use the tremolo, but sometimes I add a touch of chorus. So if you look at my Sunglasses Kids videos, that's got chorus on it. Sometimes I add post effects in GarageBand, but I'll show you that in a minute. Sometimes I have delay, but when I have it set to here, I always have the delay slash reverb. Sorry guys, the focus on this camera is shocking. There's a delay slash reverb setting, and I usually have that set about just over halfway, if not near the top end. If I'm doing a really melodic, emotional track, I usually have this quite high because I like to have that delay reverb. I think it really brings out the guitar, and you can really put some feeling into your playing. The only way I would say that affects you when you play is that you can't really shred or play too quickly, which kind of suits me because I'm not like a shredder. But if you have a high delay when you're trying to shred, it just sounds horrendous. There's far too much delay. So that's more for like melodic, kind of slower tempo songs, which I find great. And these 2 are just the guitar volume and the actual back and track volume. So yeah, and yeah, I usually record with headphones in because I don't want to annoy my neighbours. Nobody wants to be that guy. So yeah, you might notice in some of my older videos I wasn't wearing any headphones, and that's just because well, I could afford to play loud, so I didn't have like as close neighbours. So yeah, so let's take a closer look at what I use, and this is quite shameful, but again, no expensive software, literally GarageBand. Now, I actually despise Apple, I'll say that right now. I'm an Android guy, right? I've got a Samsung phone, but I've used this. I used to use Audacity, and then I went on to this. It was actually Michael Oakley that suggested to try and use GarageBand, and yeah, so ever since I've started using it, I've just kind of stuck. And again, it's not professional software, you know, but it works for me. So I will show you. Normally I record the guitar track in here. I input a track and then I record guitar over it. Now, post effects, what I normally do to make everything blend quite well, there's like a compressor. I usually put in a lot of compression, and there's like a squeeze option if you go to like master track. So there's a setting here where you can go to show master track, and here if I look at the master track, again, out of focus camera, not great. There's a squeeze setting. I always have that quite high, and the compression as well here. So I do add a lot of compression, but really And other than that, sometimes I do add a little touch of chorus and sometimes a stereo delay through GarageBand. But that's only when I like things to have a bit more oomph, and I like to bring maybe a slightly different tone through the guitar. But generally speaking, guys, that's it. You know, there's nothing too sort of complex about what I'm doing. That's really it. So yeah. Right, here again. So I've decided what I'm going to do is I'm going to use the acoustic to show you some guitar stuff. I literally just tried to use the electric and I forgot to push record on GarageBand, so that was amazing on my part. But no, it's just going to be easier for me if I can show you acoustically. So this guitar is actually tuned half step down at the moment, so yeah, that's why it sounds. It's not standard tuning. So yeah, first thing I want to say is I'm not like a pro guitar player, like tutor, so don't expect any like high quality advice here, because I'm just going to tell you how I play, and you know, you might be able to take that and use it, or it might be totally useless to you, so you know, like, it's up to you, but hopefully it'll be useful. So yeah, what are some of the things I do and how do I play? So you may have noticed that almost all my videos are improvs. That's because that's how I prefer to play. I just have a thing for improvising. I like to have the thrill of going into a song kind of blind and not knowing where it's going to take me and where I go. So that's one of the things about my videos, is that because they're all improvs, I can put on the same backing track and it might sound completely different the second time, the third time, the fourth time. It just depends how I feel. So a lot of that depends on usually my emotion. That's why when I play it, I like to play with a lot of emotion. I like to bring that through my music. And I don't know if it's just me, but I feel like these days that seems to be lacking. I haven't seen many players that play with a lot of feeling. You know, there's heaps of players that can shred really quickly and play fast, and don't get me wrong, like, mad respect, like, that's super skillful. But sometimes, if you see a guitarist like this, then like the music's there, but there's no connection between them and the guitar, like emotionally. And I think that if you want to have, like, when I bend and feel a note, you know, you want to feel that note come through, and the fact I enjoy playing synthwave, really, I hope it comes through the music. And there's a lot of things, little tricks I use as well. Like sometimes if I feel if I'm in a good mood, I'll record a video and just things like that. Just I try and bring it through if I can. So yeah, sorry, I'm babbling on here. So what do I do? So when I started playing, like I mentioned before, Gary Moore was a big influencer of me. So I really just started off with like basic shapes like that. You know, get the basic shapes down like that. And then from there, maybe try and explore a little bit to the left and a little bit to the right. Okay, so the thing is, a lot of guitarists, they feel stuck and they get stuck in these scale shapes, okay? So that's just one scale shape I showed you. There's a lot out there. And like I say, my theory's not the best, okay? But if you're just starting off playing guitar, what I would say is just get the basics down, you know, just like finger placement. So when you play a note, you know, make sure you're kind of nearer the right hand side, okay? Because you want it to sound clean, yeah? If you go the other way, sounds rubbish, right? So just like finger placement, build up the calluses in your fingers like that, okay? Things like that, yeah. So just work on that. Get the basic chords maybe if you're learning on acoustic. So like an A. Well, this is tuned down, so that won't be an A, but you know, it's the A shape. So you know, and then just what you can do. Okay, this is the thing here, right? When you learn guitar, this is what puts me off. Okay. Don't give up, okay? So there are so many people that start playing guitar and then they get bored, and rightly so, because there's so many videos out there that are just so boring, you know? They're not musical at all, right? So, I mean, that works for some people, fair enough, you know, but that doesn't work for me. I get bored so easily. So sometimes you see videos saying, oh, just practice the finger placement and play this. Okay, so you want to do something, okay, so you're still learning, you want to play things that are going to keep you excited, you want to enjoy playing the guitar, okay? If you want to do something like that, fine, do like an exercise, but don't overdo it, okay? But the best way to do is try and, well, if you want to learn like I did, I learned by putting on lots of backing tracks and just experimenting with the guitar, okay? You learn over time where you can go, and you learn over time where you can't go, okay? Now, the reason why I say that I'm not a pro guitarist is because my theory is shocking, and I can't really explain to you exactly what I'm doing. I just do it, okay? And I know that's horrendous because it means that I can't really convey to you a lot of useful information. But I'm just being honest here, guys. Like, that's just how I play, okay? So a lot of it is just with experimentation, and that's when you guys ask me for tabs, I don't have tabs because everything is made up at the time. Okay, and then eventually, you know, you just practice playing, and things come, okay? And the thing as well is, like, you don't have to play super quickly and play all these really technical pieces to be a good guitar player, in my opinion. Gary Moore, going back to Gary again, he used to play just, you know, just like basic scale shapes, but he used to put so much feeling into the playing. And there's different ways you can play different notes, okay? So you can play a note like this, or okay, you can keep it basic. You can add vibrato. Bend. Okay, so I mean that's like a basic scale shape, but there's so many different, you can, you know, put a bit of pizzazz into your playing, okay? So like, don't just, you know, funk up a bit, put in some palm muting. And remember, you don't just have to play vertical up and down. I'll go back to the scale shapes again. So there's go left and right, you know, just explore. And if you hit a note that doesn't sound right with what you're playing, then you'll learn. And sometimes the only way to learn is by trial and error, okay? So yeah, I mean, yeah, that's really it, guys. Like, I don't really, you know, I don't want to sit here and pretend to be somebody that I'm not, okay? So when I put out these videos, literally that's how I play. Right? I just kind of make everything up as I'm going along. And yeah, it just sort of comes together. And then I mix it in GarageBand and then upload it for you guys. And yeah, I mean, I just, when you guys comment on the videos, it's just amazing. You know, there's a lot of regular people that always come back to my videos, and I just want to give just a massive shout out to you guys, because like it does mean a lot, you know, to stick, even people that are just coming in and they're just newly discovering my channel. It's yeah, it means a lot. So like I say, guys, I don't know how useful this video's been. It's probably not been very useful, but hopefully it's given you maybe some things you can take away. And yeah, just like I say, these are weird times at the moment, but stay positive. That's the main thing. Okay, keep positive attitude. Keep yourself busy if you can. Listen to lots of music if you're like me and you like music to keep you happy. And yeah, it's not going to last forever. And yeah. So once again, thank you so much for 10,000 subscribers. Okay, with that, goodbye.